The serpent is in man. It is the intestines. The belly is a heavy burden. It disturbs the equilibrium between the soul and the body. It fills history. It is responsible for all crimes. It is the mother of vices. The colon is king. Victor Hugo, surprise! If you've ever seen one of my other videos, you know who that is, right? I refer to the serpent all the time. It's Beelzebub, Lord of the dunghill, a cesspool inside of our intestines. We don't have a fast-moving sewage system. We have a slow, stagnant cesspool. Now, I remember when I finally went the distance on the 7th solid food vacation. Went 90 days, I pooped out a 20-pound serpent. The best lesson I learned from that experience is that everyone has a great excuse for all the stupid things they do. I no longer judge anybody. As Mother Teresa said, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. I don't have to judge people anymore. I know they got a good excuse for all the stupid things they do. They are literally full of crap, caca, doo-doo, Beelzebub, Lord of the dunghills. Not to mention, they're lacking the sunlight energy that helps our cells communicate, destroys our sixth sense. Now, how can this cause so many problems? How can it be responsible for all of our crimes? How do we get the serpent? Well, we get the serpent when we eat unnatural foods. And what's the number one thing that allows us to eat unnatural foods? Cooking. If we weren't cooking our foods, we wouldn't be eating the animals. We're not biologically adapted to eat. You paleo people, you're missing the boat. It wouldn't allow us, without cooking, we couldn't eat the grains that you vegans are eating, that we're not biologically adapted to eat. We wouldn't be processing our foods, and we wouldn't be so stupid to be growing our foods on artificial fertilizers and spraying them with pesticides. Cooking is the fall of mankind. It creates the serpent inside of us. It's that simple. It's not complicated. But we are in a major state of denial because we love our food, don't we? Everybody's in denial. Everybody runs to denial to protect their pleasures. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Oh, don't rain on my parade. Don't tell me I can't eat a hamburger. Don't tell me I can't eat tofu or beans and rice. It's a tough world we live in, my friends. There's a reason why this message isn't getting out to the masses. People don't want to hear it. In fact, I got really philosophical when I found a raw vegan diet 27 years ago. Started studying all the philosophers, and something Socrates said really got my attention. The problem of knowledge is the key to all of our problems. I knew exactly what he was talking about because I already had my list of problems of knowledge. And I already knew that ignorance was at the top of the list, which is what one would think of when you first heard Socrates say that. But I already knew there were reasons why we were ignorant. Right off the bat, addiction's in denial. But then there are other people who don't want us to know. But the biggest problem is we don't want to know. What we want matters more than anything else. Remember, reason is usually the servant of our desires. So, how do we break this spell, my friends? What do we do? Well, let's go back to Victor Hugo. He said there is an idea that's stronger than all the armies in the world. Now, how can an idea defeat all the armies in the world? That doesn't even sound possible, does it? Well, it can, because that idea is going to change our mentality. That's the problem we face with on this planet. We've got the wrong mentality. And why? Because we're supposed to have 6 senses and we only have 5. Cooking destroys biophotons that feed our 6th sense. Remember, biophotons is the coherent sunlight energy faster than the speed of light that we store in the nucleus of all of our cells, and then those cells use this coherent sunlight energy to communicate to everything else. It is our 6th sense. That's why cooking is the fall of mankind. Cooking not only allows us to eat foods we're not meant to eat to begin with, and then we create that serpent, but then we lose one of our senses. Now we're senseless. Now we got the wrong mentality. Now we systematically prey upon our own species. Now we compete for resources on an abundant planet when we should be cooperating and sharing the abundance this planet has to offer. And yet, what do you have? People defending their food choices. It's really challenging, my friends, to wake up the masses. I'm convinced there is really only one idea as time has come, and that is a solid food vacation. That's why I say over and over and over. in my videos. We have to test an idea as time has come. Now, some of y'all can eat a raw vegan diet and pull that off, but that's hard to do. And the reason is because of what Plato said. We are under a spell. Whatever deceives men seems to produce a magical enchantment. We're under the hunger spell, my friends. There's only one way to break that spell. There's only one way to take back control over things that are controlling us. And Tolstoy understood this. Remember, he wrote this 25-page essay as a foreword to the Ethics of Diet when he translated that great book into Russian. And he said that to solve our problems, it's like going from the first story of a house to the second story, and there are steps. You can't skip steps. You got to start at the first step. The first step is self-control, self-renunciation. And what happens is too many of us focus on the higher steps, the higher virtues, not realizing the significance of that first step. The reason why so many people struggle with those higher virtues is because they're disconnected and they got a serpent inside of them. Well, I'm telling you, my friends, when you can get rid of that serpent, bump up those biophotons by taking a solid food vacation, you're in for a treat.